Back to microbeerreviews.com. We're coming at you with an Abita IPA. It's the Jackamo IPA out of the Abita Brewery, which is out of Louisiana. This is one of those breweries I've always tried to give kind of a second and a third chance to. I've never been real impressed with their beers, but I like IPAs. So I picked this up at the grocery store. 6-pack was $9. The reviews are kind of moderate. I did not let that influence my decision whatsoever. The beer pours with a real nice white head. I've had several of these already out of the 6-pack. Stays pretty thick and foamy. Quite a bit of carbonation. It's got a nice kind of caramely golden color. A little bit darker than some IPAs, but not bad. It's 6.5% alcohol. It's got an IBU of 52. When you first pour it, you smell a ton of malt, in my opinion, for an IPA. It's got Willamette and Columbus hops. If you read about it, it talks about how it's an American IPA with pale red and caramel malts. And I think that's where this beer gets a little bit confused. So there's pale malts or red malts, there's caramel malts. It's not one or the other. I like complex beers, but I also like IPAs to be kind of hoppy and with a very distinct flavor. It says it's liberally hopped, so that goes back to the IBUs of 52. I already told you the hops. It says the flavor is bold like the Mardi Gras Indians who marched through New Orleans with their suits of feathers and beads. So, I mean, you can see on the front there's kind of this big kind of headdress feather thing. And this kind of goes back to, I think, why I struggle a little bit with this brewery, because they're so caught up in their own little New Orleans world that they don't realize that this beer, at least in my opinion, is not something that a lot of people are going to like. Now, that doesn't mean the brewery's not going to be successful or the beer isn't going to be successful. What I mean by that is, if you can get a small following of people, much like the New Orleans community, who are very close and who are going to make sure that they buy beers from their local area, this will do really well. And Mardi Gras is obviously a big deal. So, kind of for me, it's one of those things where I struggle with it, because I like IPAs, but when I smell this beer, I smell more malt than I do hops. When I taste it, it almost, to me, tastes like a red IPA, which isn't bad. But if I'm going to have something that's kind of more on this red caramely side, because it's a very sweet beer. I mean, you almost taste fruits like grapefruit, oranges. One of the reviews I read said something, it tastes like birthday cake. I completely agree. It's extremely sweet for an IPA. Doesn't mean it's bad. I don't want this review to say, well, I've got a grudge against the Abita Brewing Company and I don't like the way they make their beers. It's not that at all. It's just not at all what I expected. I haven't bought a beer from this brewery in probably 3 or 4 years, and I was actually really excited because I found it in the grocery store, just showed up, and I really wanted to like it, but I don't like it. It's too sweet. It's got way too many funky flavors that are trying to be infused into an IPA that has an IBU of 52. It should be really hoppy and have some really good flavor to it. It gets lost in your mouth because there's so many things bombarding your palate that nothing stands out. So I would not buy this beer again. It's nothing personal to the brewery or to the beer. I just don't like it. I'm not telling you not to buy it, but if you watch any of my other reviews, I'm very particular about IPAs. I like them, and I've had a ton of them. And this is just not one I'd buy again. I would probably rate this to be nice. I would give it a 2. That's just because I want to be nice, and I don't want to have tons of comments coming on my YouTube channel telling me that's a wonderful beer. If you think it's a wonderful beer, please leave comments on our YouTube channel and our website. Tell me why. Tell me what you like about this beer, because I want to know. I want to learn from other people who buy this beer on a regular basis. I won't buy it again. I'm not disappointed that I bought it for $9 a 6-pack. It was worth trying, but I'm not going to buy it again. I'm going to do my very best to try again to buy another beer from this brewery down the road, but that's my review. So let me know what you think about this Abita IPA. Appreciate you watching. And